I'm Alex Jordan from McGrath and I use 23rd Street. 23rd Street, I started our connection, our partnership with them approximately 4 years ago, if I remember correctly, so it's around 4 years. Yeah, I do remember quite clearly because Bailey was following up with me and there was a long courting process. I had been doing social media with different companies, so I had some sort of insight or exposure to it. And with Bailey's sort of, I guess, courting process, I was resistant, to be frank. I sort of pushed him away a few times. He kept contacting me, he was quite persistent, and he just built a real sort of good level of trust with me. In that process of him chasing me up and the conversations that we had, he came across as really authentic, really genuine. He wasn't talking it up, which is something that sort of I respond well to. He was very down to earth, very, very honest, like, telling me his pros and cons and his weaknesses and his strengths, and it wasn't just a sales pitch. That's the way I felt about it. So I was like, okay, this guy seems like the sort of guy I want to work with. Let's start and see what the partnership looks like, and we haven't looked back since. Yeah, so I'd been doing social media targeted ads for a few years before 23rd Street. I had done it with a different company and then did it by myself, or tried to do it by myself. So I had some experience in it. I got a fairly good understanding, or I had a fairly good understanding of how it operates. That was an interesting experience because the original company that I started with, I was one of the first social media sort of, I guess, adopters or agents to utilize social for property marketing. That was probably about 8 to 10 years ago now when it started, and it wasn't that popular back then. And I was questioning it. I was like, no, this can't be that effective. Seems expensive. What are you getting in return? But as soon as I started, I saw the difference in profile building, in visibility, in success marketing, in buyer activity at my inspections, inquiries on my property. So I could see a very direct benefit quickly. I noticed it within weeks of starting, and that gave me the motivation and, I guess, clarity to continue. Yeah, there was, because I'd worked with a different company for a number of years. That didn't work out for me. I noticed that what I was paying for and what I was getting back, there was just not enough value there. So I thought, okay, I've got a fairly good understanding of how social media marketing works. So I tried to do it on my own. So we ended up doing it internally. It was interesting, like we weren't getting what I wanted from that in terms of exposure, visibility, clicks, bang for buck return was reasonable, but not quite to my liking. 23rd Street came into the picture. I was hesitant because I had an experience with a different company, and to be frank, there's a lot of players in this industry, a lot of people doing social media marketing, but in my experience, from what I've observed, the standard is quite low. You don't really see quality in terms of what they put out there, the targeting. There's a lot of gaps, and a lot of people claim that they can do it, but looking at it from my perspective, I'd be hesitant just based on that past experience. So yeah, there was a lot of hesitation to go to a new company, but that's something that over time, very quickly, it proved to be the right decision. Would I ever go back to doing it myself? No, I wouldn't. There's no way I would. But you've got to find the right person, and you've got to partner up with the best people that you can within this industry, whether it's preparing a home for sale, you're getting good trades in, painters, landscapers, external pressure cleaners, all of those things, photography, that's really important. And the other element is digital marketing, and that's where 23rd Street I think shines. Yeah, my first steps with 23rd Street, look, it took me about a week to figure out that I'm going in the right direction. The reason I knew that is I had past experience with it. If I was new to it, it would have taken a bit longer, but straight away, properties that we put on, we're getting more views, more inquiry. I'm seeing more visibility within the community, so profile building was a plus as well. So I could see the benefits quite immediately, and made me question why I hadn't done it earlier. But I didn't know until I tried them and saw the difference. I wasn't aware. So yes, came with hesitation, but it was very quick for me to be comfortable with the process. I think they're the best in the business. I'm always looking for the best suppliers. If there was better out there, I'd look for it. And I've got a lot of people chasing me to take over this account and manage it. And I've seen what they do, a lot of big claims. But it's about trust as well. Like, you've got to connect with people that you trust, that are acting in your interests. It's not just about them benefiting from the transaction. It's not a one-sided deal. And there's got to be a care factor involved as well. The reliability is important to me as well. I don't know if I could ever replicate what I'm experiencing with these guys with another company. I just don't think the service standards, the IP, intellectual property, the targeting, the knowledge around how to target, how to benefit from social efficiently, I don't know if anyone else can do it as well. So I hope that it continues. And my aim is to stay with 23rd Street for my career. Unless something changes, I can't see me going anywhere else. I think vendors will differ in their opinion around marketing and what's effective. It's really up to the agent to educate them as to what would be in their best interests financially. Social media for me is a supplement to digital marketing. It's important because about 20% of the buyer inquiry from the numbers that we assess, the buyers are coming through social. And 20% might seem like a small piece of the cake, but when you talk real estate metrics, 20% is a real big difference, and it has a direct influence on the outcome, on the sale price achieved. So I think if you can do digital well and you do social well, I don't think you've missed anyone. The difference between digital and social is that social, you can target. You can target geographically. You can retarget buyers that have clicked on previous ads by having cloned databases. I think vendors today can see there is a benefit, but the agent needs to explain to them and give them some comfort that their investment will bring a greater return. There is no campaign that we run without social at the moment. I do get some resistance from the vendors. That's common, I expect that. But I know how to sort of show them the benefits by case studies, sharing other people's experiences. I mean, if you can get a few good buyers through social, the investment's worthwhile. If you're not doing social, if you took social away from my business and the properties I'm selling, I could not get to the same outcomes for my clients. So it's an integral part of our process. I think number one is they'll start to hear comments from the community at inspections that, oh, I've seen your face or I've seen your name around. Even though they might have been doing business in that area for years and had lots of sales and signboards, it's not visible to the community. You know, the general community that you're targeting, for us it's geographic. You know, they're not getting on realestate.com to see what you've been doing. They're just living their lives. Social media is a part of their lives. So if you're on their feed, if you're getting onto their device, you're starting to create visibility where you were before invisible. So you'll start to hear comments once you start this process that people are saying, oh, I didn't know you did so well. Friends will make comments, oh, wow, you're killing it. But hey, you might have had the same business. Now it's just more exposure, more visibility. And that's where the opportunity starts to amplify. You start to create a stronger profile within the community. There's a bit of social proof as well. And suddenly you'll start to see more opportunities come to you as an agent and more buyers turn up to your inspection. So that is something you'll notice. It might take you a few weeks, it might take you a couple of months, but I found that anyone that's gone through the process has experienced a similar outcome. For me, when you partner up with someone, I think one of the main things I need in that relationship is trust. It's really vital for me. And in the digital marketing space, there's a lot of operators that I've seen what they do and I've looked at their metrics in terms of what you're spending and what you're getting back in views, in impressions, in likes, engagement. I haven't seen anyone perform like 23rd Street. I don't think at the moment there's any competitor to them. None of the big platforms can do their social media marketing as effectively. So I need to have trust that I've chosen the right people, that they're going to benefit my clients beyond the investment. I need reliability. I need to know that if I need something done, they'll do it. They're attentive, they're responsive. That's vital as well because time is a currency in this industry. Those attributes are vital. There's got to be a care factor as well, that they're trying to look after you, think outside the box, look at how they can grow your business and exposure to the properties that you're selling. And if they've got that mindset, then they're the right people to team up with and partner up with. They're hard to find. Like, it's easy to say these things, but it's really difficult to find people in this space that act with integrity, that know the stuff back to front, they've got the intelligence, they've got the know-how and the willingness to support you. It's easy to say, but it's harder to find. So I think if any agent's considering social and thinking about 23rd Street, I think the best way to test how this experience goes is to give it a try. Without experiencing it, you won't know. I know a lot of agents that had great success before social and thought that they wouldn't see any improvement in their business. As soon as they jumped into social, there was an immediate uplift. So I think without experiencing, you won't really know. Are you willing to miss that opportunity? That's up to the individual. But for me, if your aim is to build your business, grow market share, strengthen your profile, and do the right thing by your properties and your clients, then social media has to be a part of that process.